I grew up in the church with great Christian parents, and we went to church. We didn't really talk a whole lot about our personal relationships with God, but I learned all the Bible stories. I memorized verses in Bible release. I followed all the rules. I got good grades in school. I basically just tried to be as perfect as possible. You could easily say I was a goody two-shoes. And anytime I did do something wrong, I made sure I hid it because I wanted to maintain that good girl image. When I went to college, I did do some things that I regret. But I was always genuinely sorry when I did things, and I promised myself that I wouldn't make those mistakes again, even though I usually did end up making the mistakes again. But there again, the most important thing to me at that time was making sure I hid my sins from other people so that I could keep my image. Then when I was 23, I found out that I was pregnant. And my first thought was that I had to have an abortion. I had to hide this. I was done with college and I had a great job. And so, I was perfectly capable of raising a child at that point. But the only thing that I was concerned about was how people's opinions of me would change. So I scheduled the abortion, got on 81, and got as far as Newville before I stopped and realized I couldn't do this. But I just had this overwhelming feeling that I was gonna deeply regret this someday. So I turned around and made the decision that I was gonna be honest with the world, and that terrified me. So as with most people, parenting changed me, although it didn't happen overnight. At first, I was really resentful. I would kind of keep a mental scorecard and compare myself to other people, thinking like, look at her, she's so much worse than me, and yet I'm the one that got caught. It's just not fair, But gradually I did come to the conclusion that I wanted to just start over with God. I didn't want to keep score anymore. And I certainly didn't want my daughter to grow up thinking that she had to achieve some impossible form of perfection. When I was growing up, originally I didn't want to get baptized or fully let God into my life until I knew that I was capable of being truly perfect. Not just, in other people's eyes, but also in God's eyes. But I was baptized 2 years ago because I realized that even with God, I'm not going to be perfect, and that's not what He wants anyway. So one of my biggest goals as a parent is to show my kids that even though I try not to, I sin, and they sin, and everybody sins, and nobody's perfect, but God still loves us and forgives us. I'm Becky Greenland, and this is my story.